Alright, so this is video tutorial part 4, continuation of the ice cream monster, right? This is where I left off previously. Ooh, let me turn this off. This is the interactive renderer that looks like a Wi-Fi signal. Just turn it off. Well, I'm gonna turn it off because it messes with my video recording. So I'm just checking out what I had set up previously. 3222. Radius is at 2. Denoiser, check. Everything's checked. Oh, everything's clean. Alright. I clicked on this little camera icon to get a screen, to get a thumbnail, right? Alright, so where was I? Let's first, this shader is too dark. It's like just way too dark and nasty looking. I'm gonna open up my hypershade right here. I had it docked over here, and let me click on the geometry, the model, one of it. I'm gonna click on this. This is the sky dome, so just ignore that. I'm gonna click on this. This little icon basically pulls up whatever material is attached to this. Right now, the Lambert is assigned to this ice cream monster. So instead of Lambert, I'm going to press on the tab key, right? This little search bar pops up. I'll type in AI standard, right? Standard surface. I'm gonna make that, and what I'm gonna do is just select this, that, okay. I'm just gonna click on this. What this does is that it'll only view what I selected. I repeat this guy right there. I'm gonna name this, you know what? I'm not gonna name it for now. All I'm gonna do is select all of it. Alright, so I'm gonna open up the outliner. I'm just gonna select all of it. Alright. I'm gonna right click on this node. This is a node. I'm gonna right click. Do not left click on it because it will release the selection. Right click and hold. Come on. Right click and hold. Sometimes you have to kind of hover over it and shake it a bit to make it active. It's just something stupid Maya does. And right click. See, it does it again. Okay, right click, assign material to viewport selection, and boom, there you go. I don't like using the Lambert because that's the old shader that comes with Maya, right? So what you call a legacy materials, right? Meaning the original, stuff that came with Maya. Whereas I want to use the Arnold shaders. This is the Arnold. AI is for Arnold shaders, Arnold materials, right? They're two different. It's equivalent to saying like two different companies, right? You have Arnold, and you have Lambert, which is part of Maya. And I'm gonna do a render. So I'm gonna pause the video and do a render. And this is what I have, right? As you can see. Okay. So I think I'm gonna add just the two colors, maybe three. One for the ice cream, one for the cone, one for the limbs. Because the concept art had a different color for the limbs, I believe. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do a snapshot render before, after. Alright, so I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna name this ice cream shader, ice cream shader. And in here, edit, delete unused nodes. Right, looks like didn't delete anything just yet. Fine. Next, I'm gonna make another shader. Press the tab key. I'm gonna type in cone, right? Cone underscore shader. Hey, where'd it go? What the hell? Oh, tab AI standard. AI standard. Oh, that was stupid. Anyway, so I made that, and I'm gonna click in here and type out cone shader. Cone shader. There you go. So that's the ice cream cone. I'm gonna just zoom in, and I'm gonna click that. Click that. I'm gonna look in here. I'll crack this open. Alright, so bottom gum, this one here. And I'm gonna, in here, I'm gonna hold on Alt, middle mouse, just to make this area active. Alt and middle mouse. And hover over the ice cream cone shader. I'm gonna right click on it and hold, right click and hold, assign material to viewport selection. Okay. Then I'm gonna double click on it, right, to make it live. I'm gonna go over to my attribute editor, and just to verify, it says cone shader. Under the close everything except for base. Base is basically means the color of it. Instead of this off-white, I'm gonna click in there, makes it live. I'm gonna just change the color into something more of a brown. Oh, yellowish brown, something like an ice cream cone shader, right? Something like, I don't know, something like this maybe. Okay, something like that. Something, I don't know. I really don't know the color of ice cream cone, so I changed that. Next, you want to look under specular. Specular means it's shine, right? But before I do that, I'm going to go under view, bookmarks, camera view 1, and I'm going to do a render just to see what it looks like. So I'm going to pause the video, and this is what it looks like. Okay, and that took me 5 seconds. I'm going to do a snapshot. Boom, 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 right? And one of the first things you want to do is you want to work on the shine, the reflectivity. See how much of a kick that has. So what I'm going to do is under the ice cream cone shader, I'm going to click this button to make that other other shader node go away. So just see this. You know what? I don't really need this here either. This create tab. I don't need it. I don't need that. Get out of my way. All I need is this. So what I want to share is basically the weight. Weight is just a fancy word for how much shine it has. You know, how much shine. How strong is it? Right now it's set to 1. So that's like extremely reflective. The strength of the reflectivity. So if I set to like, I'm gonna set to 0.5. That's gonna make it more more soft and fuzzy of shine reflectivity. This isn't it. This is just a render, right? So I set the 0.5. That's the strength of the reflectivity. The roughness is basically how fuzzy it's gonna be. So it was at 0.2. We'll make it 0.5. So the roughness is what makes it fuzzy. So I'm correcting myself. The weight does not affect how fuzzy my reflectivity is, right? It's the roughness. So overall, all you gotta do mess around with is the weight, which is the strength of the reflectivity, and roughness, which is how soft or blurry the reflection is gonna be. So with that being said, I just changed that and that. I'm gonna do a render. Alright, so this is what I have. I'm gonna zoom in. So here's my before, right? See that right here? After. Before, after. You see here, this spot here and here, watch, before. You see this? You have that white kind of a rim light to it, see? And after. The reason why it looks like this, right? And then afterwards it looks like this is because there's no shine. There's no reflectivity. Since there's no reflectivity, these little effects are gone. See? Gone. Let me do a snapshot. So before, after, right? So that's how much of an effect it has. Before, see that right here? Right here, you see that? See that part right here? After. Again, that has to do with specular. It's specular menu. The weight was dropped and the roughness was increased. The weight was at 1, which is this. See how reflective that is? That's catching reflectivity, that white color. It's reflecting off of the environment. See that? And also here, see? That's your weight, the strength of the reflectivity, which I've dialed it down to half, which is 0.5, which results in this. Barely any reflectivity, okay? And whereas the roughness was at 0.2, I believe, right? Which also influences the reflectivity, okay? Where I increased it to half, which basically took away almost everything. Yeah, so before, after. I'll do another example, at least one more, because it's important. This is the foundation to fine-tuning the look you want. So yeah, I'm going to instead, right, I'm gonna select my cone shader, and let's say I dial down the weight, but let's say the roughness, I make it at 0.2. Okay, so it's less rough. That's all I'm gonna do is make it less rough. The weight, the strength of the reflectivity is still at half, but the roughness is less rough, from 0.5 to 0.2. Okay, let's see what that does. Alright, so this is what it is. Before, right, when the roughness was at 0.5, right, and now I'm gonna let go. This is the roughness at 0.2. I'm gonna save a thumbnail. This is roughness at 0.5. This is roughness at 0.2. So you see some of it coming back, that shine. So here's this one, snapshot 3. This is reflectivity at, or the weight at 1, right? And the roughness at 0.2, okay? And now after, it's dialed down a lot, right? This is weight at half, roughness at 0.2, right? So original, default, afterwards where I dialed it down a whole lot, and then bringing it back up again, which is here. Hopefully you can read that. So basically the weight and the roughness, they work together, right? Roughness is how fuzzy the reflectivity is. The weight is how much of a reflective behavior it's gonna have, and the roughness is what kind of a behavior. Is it fuzzy? Is it crisp? Is it sharp? You know. So this, then to this, and then this. Bring some of it back. So basically, you're dialing in between these two settings. All right. Just these two alone has an immense effect on what your shader feels like. Very simple, but very effective in terms of getting a general look, right? See how much shine is kind of nasty, right? And then this took away pretty much everything, very matte. And then this brings you some of it back, right? These are just some of the little tricks I use just to get, you know, renders that are acceptable. You know, not the best, but they are definitely acceptable. Alright, so that's just your specular. And I'm kind of happy with this, right? I think I'm gonna do a bigger size render just for you guys, so you guys can see better. So I'm gonna crack open the render settings, which is this guy. And for you guys, I told you guys to set it to I'm on comment tab. I'm gonna close everything, right? Comment tab, render settings, which is here, and image size, right? I told you guys 720. For me, I'm gonna dial it back up to 1080. For me, but for you guys, just keep it at 720. The reason why is that my computer has 16 processing cores, so I can crank out renders really quick, whereas your guys' computers, they're still decent powerful, but mine is just that much more powerful, so you guys would take longer at HD 1080. That's basically it. And I need a bigger render to show demonstrations of the render before and after, because even this size is still kind of small to show and for demonstration, blah 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 blah. That's the reason why. So anyway, I'm gonna make it 1080. All right, I'm gonna pause the video. I'm gonna do another quick render. All right, so I did another render. This time it's huge, so this is why I changed my render size for this class demonstration. That took me 11 seconds, right? So before it was 5 seconds, now it's 11, right? So but for you guys, it probably would take, I don't know, double that, so maybe 20 seconds for a render, I'm assuming, give or take. Anyway, so I really like this size. I can definitely show before and after, right? So here's this one. This one's at 1280 by 720, and then this is me, you know, This is default. Come on, give me a break. Right, so I believe this is the default. Anyway, this is it. I'm gonna do a snapshot render. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just wipe out everything else. Okay. Okay, so I'm happy with this shader, right? The ice cream, I'm kind of not too happy. I want, what color? I kind of want white and brown. White for vanilla, brown for chocolate, right? Maybe I have this white, and brown over here. Okay. And at the same time, I'm gonna have to change the shader for the wall to that other special shader, which was the AI shadow matte shader. Okay. So I'm gonna move this out of my way. And I'm gonna cancel it out of the way. And I'm gonna press the little star to wipe out everything. I'm gonna press the tab. First thing I'm gonna do is make the AI shadow. You guys probably remember this for those that did the extra credit tutorial for the teapot rendering AI shadow matte. And I select it, I'm gonna middle mouse click and hold. Middle mouse click and hold, you see it turns into a plus sign. I'm gonna drag it and drop it onto the wall. Okay, result, dropped AI shadow matte onto Studio Surface Room 2. Now the AI shadow matte, like I mentioned before, it's a special shader. Okay, it is a special shader. Yeah, it helps with the lighting and rendering, a whole bunch of other stuff. I described it in the teapot render tutorials, so I really don't want to explain it again. All I know is good stuff. It's mainly good for studio lighting, the background plate. Okay. Anyway, first things first, select it, be in your attribute editor for it, the tab, and alpha mask, I'm going to turn it off. Well, you know what, I'll explain this again. Alpha mask basically will generate so that, you know what, forget it, I'll show it. Right, so this is before the render, okay? Before the render. Before applying the shadow matte, right? I'm going to do another render with the shadow matte, okay, that was applied to the wall, and observe that I have the alpha mask checked on. And you see here, this black and white checker, this means is you can check for any alpha channel, just like in Photoshop alpha channel, okay? As you can see, it's all white, so there's no alpha channel, no cutouts, nothing, right? Just be aware of that, nothing. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back, and this is the result. The wall seem to be gone, and you have this weird dirty little background. Okay, and I'll explain exactly what it is. Right, this is basically the physical sun and sky. Remember I talked about that, right? This is that ground color, and this is the blue sky. Okay, and this is basically what that is. And you know, and it's casting a shadow, right? The reason why what's happening is where the AI shadow matte shader, this guy right here, okay, it's what it's doing is where it's being invisible, right? It's invisible right now. It's invisible, but you still get to cast a shadow. Okay, it's invisible, and that's why you can see the physical sun and sky. This color, this is the physical sun and sky, but it's casting a shadow where it captures a shadow for you. Hence, they call it the shadow matte shader. And then when I click on this, right here, this is your alpha channel, and this is the shadow being captured, and this is the cutout. And this here is all this noise that has to do with render settings, but you know, and whatnot. So what I want to share also, I'm gonna do one more thing. Okay, 1 second. First, I'm gonna save it. Right, and I'm gonna turn the alpha channel mask off. Right, so here we are, and I saved it. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, so you may be thinking, what are you trying to get at? Like, you know, what's the point? This is really ugly, you know? Well, let's change this background. All right, again, this is the AI shadow matte. Right, AI shadow matte. And let's just close all of this up. Let's just look at the background, right? So basically what this means is where the background, will confuse you, but scene background basically means that the wall, this wall, right, means that the scene background, the wall will be invisible, and whatever is behind it, you know, like the physical sun and sky, will pass through and you will see the sun and sky. That's basically what it means. It sounds even more confusing, right? But basically what it means is where scene background means that it's going to be invisible. That's more or less what it means. It should just say make invisible background. It should just say that, because this is confusing. So just take it as if this is saying make invisible, right? Whatever it's being applied to, which is this wall. Let's just change it to background color. Background color. So what do you mean background color? Basically what background color means is you get to choose whatever color this wall is going to be. Let's just choose some other color, something like, I don't know, maybe something like this, some neutral pastel-ish color, like that. Maybe something like that. I don't know. I like this type of blue color, right? Instead of that white, right? So before it was scene background, which made it invisible, hence you could see the physical sun and sky, right? And I changed the background color, okay? And I'm referring to this, right? Which this guy is applied to the studio wall, right? I'm repeating myself because I know this is confusing, right? So if I'm annoying you, I don't care, right? I have to explain it multiple times. Now I'm going to hit render and I'm going to pause the video. So now I'm playing the video again, the recording. This is the result I have, right? Whereas before, right, it was invisible because of it was set to scene background. And now I changed to background color, which gives you the option to change the color, okay? Whereas scene background is grayed out. You cannot have an option to change the color because scene background is meant for as an invisibility trick, right? Background color allows me to choose a color that will be on top of whatever is being applied to it, which is this studio wall. And now here's what it is, right? This was the original regular white standard surface shader, right? Versus this. I'm gonna do a little snapshot, right? So it's okay. I don't mind it, you know. Kind of like it. You know, something tells me change it to pink. Yeah, I'm gonna change it to pink. I don't know why. Yeah, so obnoxious pink color. Right, I'm gonna do a render again. Alright, so I give a pink color. This one right here, a pastel light pink color. Okay. Before, after, and you see how it wraps around here, right? You see how even the platform is receiving some pink. I mean, that's a lot of it have to do with that the shader is allowing for reflectivity, right? But regardless, so so I change the color, and then when I click on this, you see it still has a transparency and it captures it right there. Ignore this. The reason why this is here, okay? This is represents shadow. I think ambient shadowing on the side wall. That's the reason why. There's a way to get rid of it, but I don't want to go over it right now. But I'm just saying that, you know, that's the main attributes of the AI shadow matte. It allows you to capture shadows and a cutout if you just ignore this crap. And it still gives you, I'm gonna uncheck the alpha channel, and it gives you this nice all-around render, which I'm gonna show something else on top. I'm gonna do a snapshot, right? All right, so next thing I want to do is still referring back to the AI shadow matte. I'm gonna go under shadows. I'm gonna turn this off for now. When I turn this off, I won't have the ability to have these cutouts, right? Since this is a introductory class, we're not gonna go into compositing, so we're just gonna turn that off. Okay. Later on, for more advanced classes, you're gonna want this on, and to do some more technical compositing aspects. Anyway, so check that off. This is your shadow color. Okay. Shadow opacity is how strong the shadow is. Opacity. Diffuse. So diffuse is the surrounding ambient lighting and how it wraps around and gives secondary lighting to your subject, right? It's already on by default. It's using that background, use background, right? Meaning it's going to give a diffuse fill color based off the background. Checked on. The background color is pink, okay? Anyway, there's also this indirect diffuse. I'm going to check that on. And this is where a lot of the magic comes in. I check that on, and you see this render, right? I'm going to do another render. It should show a difference. I'm going to pause the video. This is the result. You may think to yourself, what's the big deal? It looks the same, right? But it's not. I'm going to do a snapshot. Here's before, after. This is what makes the AI shadow matte so special. Another reason why. Not just the shadow cutout that it provides for compositing, but the secondary illumination. See? This nice subtle rim light. Right here. Watch. Before, after. Before, after. Before, after. Over here. Before, after. Watch this. See? Even over here. After. See this? See that? Before, after. In the world of lighting and stuff, this is huge. You know, to give this soft ambient fill light, right? Off of a shader, which is the indirect diffuse. right? Check this on, and it'll wrap your subject around with whatever background color you choose, right? And that's how you get that nice, vibrant fill color, fill lighting around. A regular Arnold shader will not do this for you at all. You have to generate this by means of additional area lights, but you just check this on and it'll turn it on for you. Again, before, after, before, after, before, after. It's a massive, massive difference right here. Even here, light bounce. See that right here? Before, after. So that alone, so much. And then last one is down here, specular. If you turn this on, it will give a little shine. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on for those that are interested in it. I'm going to do a render. And here we go. I'm going to save it. So before, right? After. See that? So it added more. The specular turning it on because it was off by default. Here's what we had, right? Here's before, very original. After, which is turning on the indirect diffuse. And this one is going to be turning on indirect specular. There's a difference. Indirect diffuse is your ambient fill light. Indirect specular is reflectivity light source, or reflectivity lighting in a way. After, see that? Even more, it gives more of a kick. Beginning, and then update, even more update. See, look at that. That is dope. I don't care who you are, this is freaking dope. See, gray and no life to it. Now you have more life. Now you have nice shine right there. See, boom. This is why AI shadow matte is dope. Dope. Just this alone, look how much it kicks up the renders. Boom, 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 bam. Yeah. And this ice cream cone, right? This ice cream, it's a regular shader, right? So I'm gonna select this, and I'm gonna go hit this guy right here. That's gonna show whatever is applied to that material, that geometry mesh. It's an ice cream shader, right? And the AI shadow matte, it does something magical, right? AI shadow matte. I don't know why you can't see it, but the AI shadow matte, it does something magical where I do indirect specular, and look at what it did to the ice cream material, right? So this material is not on the ice cream. This material is only on the wall, and look what it's doing to the secondary shaders, right? That's massive, huge difference. Like if you're into lighting and colors and making things look real pretty, this is gold. This is good stuff. Bam, look at that. That's dope, right? And that still only took 11 seconds. It did not increase render times. Anyway, so that's the review on the AI shadow matte. So overall, you want to turn this off, right? You want to switch this to background color. And when you switch it to background color, you want to choose whatever background you want, right? You want to turn on indirect, because indirect will provide this, okay? Indirect diffuse. Then you also want to probably turn on indirect specular, which is bam. Look at that. indirect specular. Bam. Look at those highlights. Okay, and I repeat, this ice cream material is not this. Okay, it's not this, right? This AI shadow matte is doing something magical where it's influencing other stuff like this, influencing it to do this. So anyway, so that's what that is. Yeah, I'm gonna click on the 3 stars to wipe out everything. So we're back to square one. Okay. Now I wanna add materials to the middle ice cream here. I'm gonna make it brown or chocolate. Yeah. So, and I also want to make these highlights less of a kick. You know, see that? I want it to be more blurry. That's what I want to do. I want to change this to brown as well. Yeah. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. Then I'm gonna go and select this material, or that material. Click on that ice cream shader, right? And then you know what? I'm gonna name it ice cream vanilla shader. Ice cream vanilla shader, right? I'm gonna make a copy of it, Control D, right? And I'm gonna name it chocolate shader, ice cream chocolate shader. Okay, and I'm gonna select that one. I'm gonna middle mouse. I'm gonna right click on it and hold, apply material, assign material. And when I select this, I can right click and hold, and I'm going to do select objects with the material, just to make sure I know. This guy, right? I'm going to double click on it, make sure I'm in my attribute editor, under its base color, right? Because it's white right now, I want it to be chocolate, because it's chocolate, and I applied it to just this one. And under the base color, that's where it's the main color. I'm gonna give it a chocolate color. Something like that, maybe. Okay, lighter. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, chocolate. Now let's do a render. Okay, I want to bring it here. I want to pause the video. As you can see, here's my render. It looks like garbage, right? You see how shiny that is? Right? It's super nasty. It does not look anything like ice cream. It's just plain nasty, right? And it makes it more obvious about these other guys too, right? Because of the color difference. See how reflective it is. It looks like metal and hard. So we're gonna change that. I'm gonna save it. Okay. Then I'm gonna go under its right, under its attribute editor. What we're gonna do is go under specular. What I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna leave the weight alone. Okay. I'm gonna just intentionally set the roughness to 0.5. Okay, that's the roughness. And reflectivity, the specular weight at 1. Just to show you guys what that's gonna do. I'm gonna pause the video. Alright, so here I am. As you can see, a lot different. Before, after. right? And basically what I did was I set the roughness to 0.5, right? So it made it fuzzy in a way. Okay, so I'm gonna save it. So now I'm thinking, you know what if I set it to I don't know, 0.4, right? I'll set it to 0.4. Because right now it just looks like chocolate covered donut in a way, right? So I'm gonna set to 0.4, see if that does anything for me. I'm gonna pause the video. Alright, so here it is. Okay, this is at 0.5 on the roughness, on the specular roughness, and this is at 0.4 specular roughness. So it brought back some of that reflectivity in a way, where it's reflecting the pink background. See? Before, after. And this is kind of getting more kick. See? And over here too. See that? Right there. So in a way it's more inviting. It's not realistic ice cream, you know, but you know, it's more inviting than this, right? This compared to this is better, and compared from this, which is kind of, I don't know, and then this makes it more fun, right? So that's just how to show how to do incremental little updates, you know, by from 0.5 to 0.4, small little increments like that. Yeah, by you could say point 1 increments, like from 0.5 to 0.4 to 0.3, those type of increments. The weight is at 1. Okay. I'm gonna keep the weight at 1 so I can get this nice little rim color, right? That's the strength of the specular reflectivity. Okay. Everything else, for our sake, we're just gonna leave it like this. I'm not gonna mess around with this other stuff, which will help out the ice cream. But I'm gonna leave it alone. Just these two. That's it. Keep it super simple. Yeah, super simple. And then I'm gonna do the same for the vanilla color. You know, I'm gonna set the weight. I mean the roughness to 0.4. Right. So here, vanilla shader, roughness to right click on it and hold, select objects. Alright, okay. I'm gonna set it to roughness to 0.4. 0.4. This is for the vanilla. We'll do a render. Alright, so here it is. Before, right? See that kick, right? All this white stuff has the shader on it, which these guys have to be replaced soon. I mean, like him and him. Anyway, so before, after. Right, yeah, there you go, right. I'm gonna save it now. So before, here, 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 and here, and after. So you know, it took away it right here. It took away some of that fine, that fun rim light reflectivity, which kind of sucks, right? But it also took this away. See, kind of didn't like that. But now it took away some of that. So that's some of the trade-offs, right? It makes it less obnoxious. So maybe I'm thinking to myself, instead of 0.3 roughness, maybe I'll make it a little bit less rough. Maybe I'll set it to like 0.3 or 0.35. Okay, so less fuzzy, right? And let's do a render. And here we are. I'm going to do a save a snapshot. So I think it's a nice trade-off. Here's what I had previously at the 0.4 roughness. How fuzzy it is. Watch. This is what I had. See, it killed off that, and it also killed off this. And now here's this is gonna be at 0.35. This one right here. See? So before, after, bring it some of it back. Also brought some of this back. This is what I had before, right? And finally after. This is a nice trade-off. Here, then after, and then bring it a little bit back up. See? Before, after. Before, after. All it's just small incremental adjustments. Previously it was at here, this one is 0.5, this one is at 0.4, this one is at 0.35 on the roughness. Just on the roughness alone, okay? For the vanilla. See? Right. So I'm showing the process in terms of dialing these things down and getting the look you want. Because when you're first learning, I'm gonna bet money that a lot of you are just gonna start pushing and pulling these dials all over the place and not know what the hell is going on, and you get frustrated. But I'm just telling you and showing you from experience of my own trial and error. Just screw around with the roughness and weight and small little increments, right? Where you can start off at like half and kind of go a little bit here or there, right? And you get something nice. So that's how you mess around with shaders, right? As an introductory, course. So I like that. And the teeth, maybe I want some more shine on the teeth, because right now this material and this material, they're very similar. Oh, you know what, the tongue too. I kind of want to mess around with the tongue. Yeah, let's give a color to the tongue. I want to give a color to the tongue. And I'm going to just give it the same treatment. Just mess around with the weight and the roughness. Yeah. So, move this out of the way. I'm going to go wipe this out using the 3 stars. Press tab. And I'm going to type in standard surface, right? I'm going to name it tongue shader. And I'm going to grab that tongue. I'm going to right click on here and hold, apply, assign material. Looks like nothing happened. That's fine. Double click on that. Make it live and active in the attribute editor. Under the base color, give it a color. Something like that. Nice vibrant pink. Maybe just make it less saturated. A little bit values, a little bit lighter. Something like that, maybe more red. I don't know, something like that, maybe. Right, and I want to give the default value for roughness is at 0.2. I want to set it to 0.3, right? 0.3. So it's a little bit more fuzzy. Because at 0.2, it'll make the look more like a porcelain, I believe. Anyway, so I'm gonna do a render. I'm gonna pause. All right, so here it is. Okay. Do a snapshot save. That. Maybe I'm thinking this is too much of a hot spot. You know, maybe I want to make it a little bit fuzzier. You know, I don't know. I kind of don't like it. So I'm gonna set it to roughness at 0.4. Right. See what that does for me. I'm gonna do a render. Alright, so here it is. As you can see, it's less obnoxious, right? More fuzzy, like I said. Before, after. Before, see that? After. I like that better. It's not so much of a harsh kick. Before, after. More of a softer kick. Alright, and you could also change this color, this fuzzy, shine, reflective attribute under the color. You could change it, but for us, we're just gonna leave it alone. You could mess around with this, right? Give it a different color, but you can do that on your own time. I don't want to. I want to just keep it simple, right? So this alone is a lot already, and the limbs. I want to give color to the limbs. Eyebrows. Yeah. So, and the eyes. Yeah. Alright, so what am I going to do next? I want to change this though. I don't know what color I want to change it to. But yeah. Alright, press the 3 stars. I'm gonna give a platform. Press the tab key. I'm gonna type in standard surface. Boom. And then I'm gonna click on the platform. And, I'm gonna right click and hold. Assign material. And I'm gonna name it platform shader, right? And what color am I gonna give it, man? Maybe I'll. Oh, by the way, you can move this around by just middle mouse dragging it. Maybe I'll give it an obnoxious color like gold, right? Some insane color, like gold shader, right? Just something crazy that doesn't make any sense. So, you know, this guy right here, and it's a good introduction to show you about presets. So this platform shader, which I know is applied, just double check, right click and hold, select objects with material. Alright, just making sure. I'm going to select this again, so it's active in the attribute editor. Under presets, click here, right? Just click it once. This will pop up. Maybe I'll give it so wax material, brushed metal, chrome. Wasn't there a gold shader? Should have been a gold shader. Gold, right there, gold shader. And replace. Okay, and it does something where it's gonna do a predetermined all of this, right? These things are slightly different, grayed out. crank up the metalness, roughness, cranked it down to 0.15, right? I think that's about it. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a render. Okay. All right. I'll pause. Anyway, so this is what it made, right? Before, after. Right. Don't mind this. It's getting color from this. So anyway, this is what it looks like. Right here. All right. This brown color, right? It's not color. It's reflecting off of something. See this right here? That. So you could dial things around. For example, good example. Let's say specular, right? Color. Right now it's set to this kind of weird, dirty color. So you could change it to I don't know. Let's say you change it to white, right? Pure white. White. Is that white? Yeah, pure white. Let's see what that does. I'll pause the video. Alright, so it didn't do anything. If anything, it made it less shiny. Alright, so it made it more white. So I'll save it. So before, after. See? So it's not much of anything. Right there. Kind of more unbelievable, if anything. I'm gonna do just one more render. I'm gonna move on. So I'm thinking under the color, I'm gonna change it to something more of a orange. Something like that, maybe. Right. And then let's see what that does. Again, under the specular color. Right. Alright, so looks like it didn't do much anything. I'm gonna kill all these off. Just pressing delete. So, boom, boom. It made it more dull. See that? Right there. So, these situations you have to go in and you just have to mess with it. Maybe I'm gonna crank up the color some more, right? More saturated. Something like that. And maybe the color, the regular base color. So specular, I made it more saturated. More the yellow. Okay. Anything to kick up the highlights. Yeah, I'm gonna pause. Alright, so this is what I got. Before, after, right? Okay. This is just after making that more yellow. Maybe under the base color, I'm gonna change that. Yeah, change it to something like that. Orange, yellowish. Right. See what that does. Alright, so here it is. It's actually more hideous. This looks awful. So, it's still good to show the process. It's gonna be trial and error, and to see what works out. And obviously that does not work, so I'm just gonna undo it. Right. Okay. And then maybe for now, just leave it alone. I'll come back to it later. Or you can also look on YouTube and see how they make their own gold shaders and quickly, you know, produce it. Yeah. Last thing I want to do is go over a couple of lights. Yeah, area lights. And then call it a day. So I'm gonna close the Hybrid Shade tab for now. I'm gonna zoom out a bit. And I'm gonna go to modeling, or not, Arnold, lights, area light. Okay, area light 1. Here it is. I'm gonna press R. I'm gonna scale it like this. I'm gonna press W, yank it out. This is annoying me. Shading, backface culling. Okay. And just to give you anatomy of what this is, where this thing right here is your aim. This is your aim. I still have students where they were aiming it the wrong way, right? Just be mindful of that. What I'm gonna do is, where's my camera? I'm gonna go to Show, Viewport. So this is my perspective right here. I'm gonna make my perspective, right? Right now it's grayed out, so you can't see it, but I kind of want to show it, okay? So do 1. Right, this is the camera, so you know. What I'm gonna do is, so forget that about the whole perspective and visibility thing. I'm just gonna go yank this, right? The area light, pull it back, turn it maybe like this. Whole idea is where I want to have some shine on this side over here. So press E, I'm just gonna rotate it. And I'm using this axis right here, this axis, not this right here, like that. Alright, so it's kind of aiming like this. And I'm gonna just boom, tap. Okay, I'm gonna lower it here. Don't make it penetrate through the ground. It's gonna cause stupid artifacts. Right, and see that how it's, which way it's aimed at. Like that, okay? And the bigger the card is, area light, more softer the highlights are gonna be. Bigger the card, softer the highlights. It'll act as a fill light. And I'm gonna name it underscore area light main key light. Main key light. Wait. In here I'm gonna name it main key light. Next, all of this stuff here is basically what you want to do is mess with exposure, set to say, I don't know, 10, right? Leave the intensity alone. Sample, set it to 2, right? That's for your shadows, no more than 2. soft edge is the reflectivity. When it reflects off of a surface, the card is, because it'll show this as a white card. If you set the soft edge to 1, it's gonna have a blurry soft edge around this card, because this is not only just a light, but it is also acting as a reflective card. So you set the soft edge to 1, and that's all you do. Exposure to 10. The color is this neutral white, and then I'm gonna do a render. Ignore that. Control, I'm gonna pause it. Oh, you'll notice this, right? I had to set my camera back. So view, bookmarks, camera view 1. Now I'm gonna do it. Alright, so this is what I have. Before, after. Before, after. This is my highlight. Before, after. See the tongue? Over here. After. 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 God, this orange is starting to really annoy me. Yeah. So that's the area light that I just made. Okay. Let me grab this platform shader. Just set it more of a neutral. And then yeah. If anything, go back to presets. Maybe I'll blend it to 75%. So you can do blending of the platform. Gold. 75%. Yeah, right now I'm just messing with the gold because it annoys me. So, alright. I'll do a quick render. Alright, so here's the render. Here's the before, saturated, orangish, yellowish, after. So, yeah. I like that better. It's just not as obnoxious. Yeah. So, okay. I want to add one more light. That'll be the backlight. So, and also, going back to the platform, I had set the preset, right, to instead of 100% replace, I set it to 75%. So you can kind of, dial things a certain way too for the presets. Anyway, I'm gonna go in here, okay, and then I'm gonna go to Arnold, lights, make another area light, Arnold area light, crank it up. I'm gonna rotate it, right, and I'm gonna push it back, pull it up, make sure it does not cross into the floor, and the purpose is I'm just gonna turn it into a rim light right here, and I'm gonna squeeze it, maybe something like that. And I'm also going to change its arrow direction because I don't like this perfect right angle. So I hold Control Shift right click, choose object mode. Right, again that's Control Shift right click and hold object mode or world. World is that perfect right angle. Object is determined by the rotation of your object. So like if you rotate it, press W, you have a better aim control. Even the rotation is set to world. See that perfect right angle? I don't like it. in this situation, Control Shift right click and hold, set an object. That way you can rotate it exactly the way you want it. Right? The whole point is I want to set up a rim light. And you want to avoid touching the floor. Right? So let me just show you what I'm doing. Where it's good to show the camera. So I'm going to Panels, Perspective, New. Alright, this is a new Perspective 1 camera. Okay. And I want to show you my perspective camera is the one that's doing the render. Okay. This shot. So I'm going to go, you don't see it because you have to go into Show. Well, select my perspective 1 right here. This is a select your camera, perspective 1. Right, I'm gonna go show, play blast. Where's my camera? Oh, how is it? Come on, think. Where's my camera? Oh. Okay, here's the camera. This is my render cam. I need to set it back to. God damn it. Jeez, this way. This one. All right. I'm gonna go to Panels, Perspective, Perspective 1. Okay. Then I'm selecting my perspective, right? I'm gonna go to View, Bookmarks, Camera View 1. Here we are, back again, okay. Then I'm going to, since I got my shot back, I'm going to go to Panels, Perspective, Perspective 1, the new camera that I made. I'm going to zoom in, and you see what I mean by, I'm going to go Show. I'm going to select my camera. Perspective 1, Show, Viewport. Camera, what the hell? Where's my damn camera? What the hell? Why is it invisible? Visibility is on. This is my camera. Wait 1 second. Alright, so this is perspective 1, right? This camera, right, that it frustrated me where I couldn't show it, is basically this render right here. This render is this camera, alright? And I made this camera, perspective 1, which is this guy right here. Right, I made this camera just for the purpose of showing you where my render cam is. Right, this is my perspective. I'm using it as a render cam. Right, and previously I could not show it. Right, the reason why is because under my perspective, I select it. There's attribute editor, it's object display. The visibility is naturally set to off. Right? Just FYI, this is where you go to find to show your camera, your default native cameras. Right? Visibility. So why did I bother doing all of that? Well, my camera render cam is here, and I want this to act as a rim light. Okay, I will name it rim light. And I'm going to just coordinate with the camera. I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to turn it, push. I'm going to rotate it. Okay, well, scale it, right? And as you can see, this is my aim. Okay, now I'm coordinating my aim with this camera, which is my perspective 1 camera, which this is my perspective camera right here, which is this shot right here, okay, which was being hidden because of this the object display visibility. Right. So anyway, whole point is I want to show the rim light. Alright. Now make sure that my rotate X and Z are zeroed. Only my rotate Y has values in it. I don't want any tilting, like this kind of stuff. I just want a perfect rotation, that's it. And I'm gonna just lift it up a bit, like that. Then I'm gonna go into this attribute editor for my rim light. I'm going to set the exposure to 10. Alright, and my samples to 2. 2 samples only. My roundness to 1. So I get a soft reflective, because this is not just a light, as I mentioned before, it also acts as a light card, a reflectivity card as well. And setting my soft edge to 1. Right. 1. Okay. And then exposure to 10. So I'm gonna do a render. Alright, so here's the render. This is my rim light. All that trouble that I was fussing about before, after. Right? Before rim light, after rim light. And also made this shadow, my core shadow, softer because I have another light source. Right? Before, after. And also made another secondary cast shadow over here. Right here. Before, after. It also illuminated this area. See? And also the tongue. And right here too, rim light. Rim light. Rim light. Okay? So that's basically what that is. Oh, this gold shader is annoying me. Anyway, so that's what that is, right? I got my key light over here. Here's my main key light, okay? And it's running perpendicular to the main render cam, right? It's running this side. If I want, I can do that. And I'm gonna just rotate it a bit like that, so it's aiming this way, so I have a more of an aggressive angle. It's aiming like that. So this is my key light, okay, and I changed it to be more aggressive. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn that a bit like that, compared to my render cam, the angle. I'm gonna go over here. Right, this is what I have. So over here, this lighting is gonna change. I'm gonna do so I have a snapshot saved. I'm gonna alright, so this is what it made. So here's before, here's the light over here, here's after, before, after, before, after. So if anything, it didn't really do a whole lot. It just shifted the light right here from here to here, right? Yeah. Alright, so that's basically it. Let me do one more thing. make it skinnier, right? So if I make this skinnier, the light is going to be more intense, much more intense, like a beam of light. And I'm going to set the exposure to 11, okay? And I made it skinnier like I mentioned before. And let's see what that does. So here's the end result, which is a good thing that I showed this. Here's the before, where I moved the light, right? And then I also, yeah, that's all I did, is move the light. And then here's the after. The after is where I did not move the light. All I did was make it skinnier. See? Skinnier. And when I make it skinnier, it turns into a stronger beam of light, which results in this. This is before making the area light skinny. This is after making the area light skinny. See how strong it is? Very soft diffused initially. Stronger. Before, after. Before, after. Yeah. So that's just another example of the behavior of area lights, okay? And I'll leave it at that for now. And those are just the settings that you're gonna screw around with. You know what? One more thing. I want to show review again regarding the lens effect, and to get the light bloom, right? The light bloom. So render settings, which is this guy right here, right? Arnold renderer, imagers tab, where initially we added the denoiser. Now I added the lens effect, which is right here. And we're going to give it a light bloom with a strength of, say, ooh. Right, and maybe I'll give a threshold of 0.8. Ooh. 1 or 1.25. Maybe and give a strength of 0.1, 0.5. Give it 1. Yeah, there we go. See, maybe 1.15. Maybe 1.25. Oh, there we go. See, right there. Yeah, there's our light bloom. Maybe give a radius of 3. Back to 4. Maybe 5. Okay. Strength to 1. Yeah. So threshold at 1.1. Oof. Never mind. 1.25. Okay, 1.25. But then it brings this back to, yeah. Anyway, so that's the lens effect. Off, on, off, on, off, on. Right? Lens effect. I like this. So, yeah. Higher the threshold, softer it gets. Radius is the bloom effect. Maybe 7. 4. Radius, maybe set to, I don't know, 8. 8 gives a nice soft halo all around blur. Threshold, maybe 1.35. Higher, make it softer, weaker. Yeah. Maybe threshold 1.5. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn off, on. Ooh, off, on. Yeah, yeah, I like that better right there. Hides that crappy color. Right there, right there, right there. Off, on. Still got the little halo over there. Off, on, off, on. Nice. Alright. Yeah, so that's the bloom. And then your vignette. Maybe set it to 1. Did that do anything? Move this over here. Off, on. Maybe set my vignette to 5, 10. Okay. You can zoom in by doing Alt and right mouse button to zoom. Middle mouse to pan. Maybe off, on. Alright, so you do see the vignette. Maybe I'll set it to 5. Right? Or 0. Yeah, you see right here? I'll set it to 3. Okay, 3 it is then. I'm gonna close that. Open that up. God damn it, stop it. Off, on, yeah. So you barely feel the vignette, but it's there. Because if I set the vignette to 0, see? Set it to 5. Yeah. Or 3. Yeah, there you go. Kind of gives a soft little thing over here. So yeah. There's more things I want to screw around with, but it's already been an hour and a half. But yeah, so just those couple of things, and you get yourself a decent render. You know, this needs to be colored. This needs to be colored. And this guy needs to be maybe a different color over here as well. But you get the gist of it, right? Yeah. So that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna put this on YouTube, and this is the final ending of your assignment. And again, all of this you will apply and you will learn and apply it to your own model. But first you will learn it on this, so that yeah, have it ingrained. Okay.